This week at Americana Outdoors, Wade Middleton and Chris Clarkston take you to Falcon Reservoir on the Texas-Mexico border for big bass in the summer heat.
Americana Outdoors is brought to you by Nemire Lures. The key to your catch is in the sound chamber.
Located deep in southwestern Texas, some 40 miles east of Laredo, lies one of the crown jewels of Texas bass fishing. Straddling the Texas-Mexico border, Falcon Reservoir is arguably one of the best bass fisheries in the country. But due to its remote location, Falcon does not receive the same pressure as the more famous fisheries in the eastern part of Texas, and therefore none of the glory. But make no mistake, this 83,000-acre reservoir is loaded with big bass.
You know, Falcon Lake is a lake on the Texas-Mexico border that goes through a really long growth season. You know, I mean, it's warm in Texas on that end of the state year-round, so Florida bass do real well. But the lake can go through a lot of cycles. You'll have times in its cycle, like 3 or 4 years, where you don't catch a lot, or you don't hear anybody going down and fishing it and doing real well. And all of a sudden, you'll get a lot of water in there, and 2 or 3 years after that, because of all the good spawns and all the heavy cover, the lake will absolutely explode. It's one of the most underrated big bass fisheries in the nation, and it produces fish 12 months out of the year.
As the sun rises on the South Texas summer, anglers look to topwater lures for fast and furious action. On this trip, Wade and Chris have brought along one of the more versatile lures on the market. The Nemire Spoon Buzzer has made its name for years on the Redfish Tour, but this lure is deadly on summertime bass.
Summertime bass fishing, no matter where it's at, Falcon, Choke Canyon, up north, wherever it might be. Wind's always been important to me, whether it be pushing water across an isolated point, isolated bush, water movement, if it's dropping, if the lake's rising, paying attention to all the variables that come into summertime fishing.
Got him?
Yeah.
Good one?
Oh man,
that's a big one, dude.
That was a good fish.
That was a big one. About 4 or 5 pounder, probably.
I'd say 5. He blew up all over that Nemire spoon.
Like that buzzbait. I'm gonna tie that other one on and run down that windy side. See what happens.
Holy crud! Did you see that way up there?
Yeah. There, you got one! You got one! You got him! Go on! It's another good one.
He blew up all over it.
They're up there
There's
on
another
that
one
shallow,
right there.
They're up there on the shallow stuff feeding. Holy cow!
He's eating my lunch.
Let's get him out of that bush. Golly, that's back-to-back casts.
That is. The other one was bigger than this,
Yes,
but
he was.
I'm not complaining right now.
Oh, golly, he jumped all over it, same spot. As soon as it hit the water, they're up there feeding on those rocky shelf right there. Holy cow.
Good fish.
Because, I mean, I had one just as soon as it hit the water. Right there, right where he's at. I mean, he jumped all the way out of the water, about the same size. Oh, got him. Golly. I mean, right when he hit the water. There. I mean, that's not 2 inches of water up there chasing those buzzbaits. Look at that.
About the same size.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Good.
You go ahead and get that one, and I'm going to keep going.
That's awesome. Come here. These are the new colors that he just came out with this. You got white, chartreuse, greens, and everything else.
They're working.
Yeah, they are. Used to be nothing but, you know, kind of a gold and a silver one, and came out with some more bass-friendly colors. Not that the gold hadn't caught its share of bass. That's probably the oldest, best color in the world.
For years, anglers had few choices in spoon colors. Now, Nemire Lures have broadened the spectrum to include 12 individual colors on their spoon buzzer to reflect the needs of anglers in both freshwater and saltwater markets. By mixing and matching skirts, there are now dozens of color combinations available, all with Nemire's patented sound chamber. The spoon buzzer evolved from Nemire's famous Red Ripper spoon, one of the simplest yet most effective lures ever developed. The spoon could be thrown anywhere. Fish it over deep summer grass, drag it through heavy cover, or swim it in the surf or saltwater flats. It doesn't matter. The Nemire spoon simply catches fish. Americana Outdoors was able to catch up with John Nemire, inventor of the Nemire line of products.
And I come up with this idea to put a rattle in a spoon, and I kept working with it in my garage, and through the years I'd always made my own lures still anyway, but I just kept working on this concept and taking it one step further and further and further, and finally I decided to call it the spoon cranker, and I always knew that I could incorporate the ideas that I put into the spoon cranker into the spoon buzzer, because that lure was actually made over 25 years ago when the first spoon buzzer was made. It's not nearly as sophisticated as the one we have today, but even back then that lure caught a lot of fish. I know at one stretch it won 6 straight tournaments. That's how I got back into the lure business.
Got him. You got him.
There we go.
Good one there.
Yeah, it is. He sure ate it.
They like the spoon buzzer up there in that
That's
shallow
so
water.
exciting, though.
I know. You start watching your bait the whole time. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting.
We've missed a couple.
No, I know.
I waited a second.
I know. That's just the whole key when they blow up on a buzzbait or any top water. It's trying to be patient. They can be hard to do.
He came from the top of it and came down on it, looks like, and laid his hook.
You know, I don't care how they come down on it.
Healthy fish.
You know, your guy could put him a trailer hook on this, and there's not that much brush right out there, and increase his hookup rate. We're fishing these straight out of the package right now.
You can throw this lure basically anywhere you want. Hold your rod tip up. I mean, you can bring it through a bunch of really heavy cover. It's totally weedless. It flat catches a lot of fish. It's catching a lot of freshwater fish. It's catching a lot of saltwater fish. Northern pike, muskie, bass, you name it, it's catching it.
All right, Wade.
Man, he took the rod literally out. Look how far down that buzzer is. God, he almost took the rod out of my hand.
Persistence pays, man. We catched her 3 times. I'm getting out of your way.
He is not even close to being ready. Holy cow, he's got that rod doubled. He's gonna come up again.
He's putting it on you, Wade.
Yes, he is. Look at
Take a drag.
my spoon buzzer back. I'm gonna catch some more. Golly.
Man, that's a good fish.
Now, when it comes to fishing for largemouth bass in the summertime, a great technique to use first thing in the morning is running a large, loud bait. Nemire spoon buzzers fit the bill perfectly for this application. Nemire's come out with a couple of brand new colors that work for bass fishing quite effectively. Now let's hear from Wade Middleton on his take on some tips and techniques for summertime bass fishing.
A lot of people quit fishing in the summertime. It gets hot, but that doesn't mean the fish quit biting. You've just got to adjust your tactics and techniques and find those fish. And in the summertime, when you find them, it doesn't matter whether it's 100 degrees outside. If you can find them, chances are you're going to find a lot of them, and you can have some incredible days fishing. A lot of the fish are going to be deep in the summertime, the majority of them. That doesn't mean you can't catch fish shallow, and if you're tournament fisherman, there's a lot of fish that are going to be shallow, and you can win events shallow. But the bigger groups, those home run holes, so to speak, are going to be deep, and you want to look for main lake points, big drop-offs on those main lake points, and if you can find structure on that drop-off, on those channel swings or those drop-offs on those points, a lot of times you can find a huge school of bass. Hard to put the spoon buzzer down.
It really is. Tap, tap, or an explosion.
Yeah. Coming out here, you never know how you're going to catch them, so you got to be fairly open-minded and fish the moment. Don't fish by memory a lot of times. Just look at what feels right and go do it. Obviously, low light conditions, we had a blast throwing that Nemire spoon buzzer. Early morning, late in the evening, fish were up in incredibly shallow water, less than a foot, and we're blasting on it. I don't know how many bites we had, but we put several in the boat, including one big one.
If you don't have any, you better go get some.